desire, and that's why I came to Herbalife, because I didn't take this decision lightly. I'm very serious about this,
absolutely.
And this is going to be a great thing, not only for the Johnson family, for my wife and kids, but I hope it's a great thing for everybody at Herbalife, because I want them to see, feel, and touch the energy I have for this, and I want to see, feel, and touch their energy. And in the branding and the marketing area, quality is going to define who we are. So that's my first goal. I don't have particulars for you today because you have to give me a little room. I'm 2 days into this. And,
no problem. You get great forgiveness from us, because we understand it's a real learning process to learn about Herbalife. In fact, I might point out one thing to you. A couple of minutes ago, you used the term sellers. Our guys love to be referred to as distributors, because what they understand is 99% of the people who come into this business have never had experience selling anything before in their lives. They've come into this business because they've had a great experience like you have and like I have on the products, and we train them how to become distributors of the products, which involves not just getting the products into clients' hands, but also teaching product information.
Right.
We teach that to our distributors. They teach it to their customers. And every aspect about how to maintain your weight once you've lost it. So there's a whole configuration of things that they learn about and that they use and impart to their customers as distributors of the product. And that's how they like to be known as. They're very proud of being distributors.
I promise I won't make that mistake again. So our distributors are probably our best customer relations people that we have, because they've had personal success stories.
And they're the best distributors anywhere in the world, in any industry. But it's unique to Herbalife. We really have a great training system for them. This is really good. One of the things I'd like to ask you about, with my knowledge of business, et cetera, is, the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer, he's the guy where the buck stops. I mean, everything goes to him. And, of course, you have to deal with challenges, you have to deal with problems to be solved, et cetera. So what I'd sort of like to know about, how does a CEO go about solving problems? What are some of the steps that you take? Let's suppose you got a challenge you got to figure out.
I think you have to be a good listener. You have to have a council of thought. And the way I have always done it in my past is I want the smartest people about the issue in the room with me, and I want to hear counsel all the way around. And it's almost like if you will, like a Senate hearing or something. You want to hear opposing views.
Okay.
You want to hear what people have to say about it, and then you want to take a moment to weigh what those issues are. Herbalife, like Disney or like IBM or Ford or whatever company, has issues, and it has opposing point of views. Should we be doing things this way? Should we be doing them that way?
Sure.
And that process of gathering information is very important. And you have to understand that everybody arrives at the table with their agenda, and they arrive with their thought. We have a very interesting company, what I've learned in the early stages, where we have some very important voices in our company, Chairman's Club, President Club members, all the way through the distribution pipeline. I almost said selling pipeline there. But the distribution, I'm going to fight that as best I can. But the distribution pipeline, as well as the people who are, involved in our process in distribution. Yesterday, I picked up a ton of information just by what I call dusty shoes management, by walking around the distribution center and listening to some of those people. They can forecast some trends very early in our business, and they, someone pulled me aside and said, hey, what about this, what about that? Well, those things go in your head, and that becomes part of an agenda of decision making. And to get back to your original question, so you get the opinions in the room, you have to look at the environment, and then you have to take a decision. And you have to move forward with that decision, but that decision has to be flexible enough to change through time, because as I've learned in my business career, the only constant in life is change. So you have to make a decision, move with that, but not be afraid or unwilling to change or modify that as you move along.
Yeah, great. And it's interesting what you were saying. We have some very sharp people, and when you listen to how they're doing the business and you pick up these cues, you can see that they're really on it when they start to see trends, And if somebody you're listening to is working on the telephone and they hear that a distributor, like one of our operators, taking orders from a distributor, and they hear a question for things or a demand for certain types of products, they can relay that to us, and we can start to work in a new direction for certain type of product demands.
I think the biggest challenge for me initially is to learn this company from the bottom up. There's a lot of information to be picked up top down, but the bottom up, that means I'm going to be traveling in the next month. I'm going to get out worldwide next, actually 2 months. We're already mapping out an agenda for me. It's 2 cities a day for a couple weeks, and then get out into Europe or Japan and parts of Asia, and we've got some extravaganzas coming up where I'm going to just learn a ton. So my learning curve it has to be steep and quick. I've got to start climbing up those stairs that you were running up the other day very fast. And the more I can learn, the more I can process, the more effective I'm going to be. And I'm fully dedicated to this. So this is the initial period of time where I have to be open to everybody's ideas, thoughts, and then balance it back out to the best business decisions.
Well, we're here to help you. And I understand you're going to be on the road. Everybody's going to get a chance to meet you in various areas around the world, and that's a great thing. And you're going to start right here in the States, right? I think in May is what we're talking about. Yeah.
I think the first, Carol Hanna set up on a schedule for me. It's diligent, and it's going to be out there, but that's a good thing. I said, the only thing you got to do, Carol, is give me an hour and a half to work out every day and a little bit of sleep, and then I'm okay.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, that sounds like the rest of us. On these products, you can do anything.
Right.
So sort of generally, I know this is really sort of early for you, so I don't want to put you on the spot, but sort of generally, what do you see as sort of goals over the next couple of years for Herbalife that you've been able to sort of isolate for right now?
Well, without making too many commitments, because I want to be careful what I say here. I'm going to be on, we're going to be on tape, and someone's going to throw this back at us at some point. And I don't want to be a politician. I want to be a businessman here. But I think initially it's focused in kind of 3 areas. We've got to get our sales invigorated and up.
Okay.
Our trend is it's okay, but it needs to be better in there. I want to make sure we lift the brand in this company to one of the highest level brands in the world. I want the Herbalife brand in 3 years to roll off your tongue and off your mind and out of your heart, just like an IBM, a Sony, or a Disney, or a Walmart, or some of the finer brands in the world. If we're going to go international, we can talk about Porsche or Mercedes, or talk about Sony. That has to be one of our key objectives. So get the sales up, get this brand up, and what I call science, and I want to make sure that I understand our science completely.
Sure.
I'm not a scientist, and these are the days that I wish I had studied biology a little better in high school and college.
Right.
But I want to make sure the science side of our business matches every promise that we're making, which I'm sure it does, and that we have the highest quality product. We have the highest quality effort in our distribution efforts, and we have the highest quality in our marketing. And those three things are the three things I'm going to focus on initially. Now, I know there's a lot of process management that needs to be focused on. I'm going to put the right people. We already have some fabulous people in place to make sure that is managed. We could probably do a lot better with our customer relation management. We can probably do better with our inventory management. We can probably do better a lot of those what I would call back office areas that might not be as exciting to our viewers, but are important from a business aspect.
Absolutely. Well, you've got two great gals, I should say guy and a gal to work with Carol and Brian, and of course Bill Lowe in finance. So you've got a great team with you. And that's really good. And what's so interesting about this business, and it's so important that you've said what you've said, is that we're basically a family-run business. This is a business for the family, and almost all of us work from our homes. And people get in there, they've come from all kinds of backgrounds. They know nothing about nutrition. They know nothing about products. They know nothing about marketing. And they learn it all from here. And so it's really important that corporate has these goals and can help them understand the vision, because the vision is a big thing with us. The vision of what's possible is a very big deal with us. The vision of how you take a brand new customer who becomes a distributor and develop them into a millionaire team member, presidency on up, and how they can develop their business in other countries as well as here and improve their lifestyles while they're improving the health of other people. That vision is very important to us, and so it's good that you're able to nail those things.
Yeah, I think that the one thing I want to make sure of is that we're not some big corporation over here.
Yeah.
And I know it's not been that way, but not separated from what I would call the real activity, which is that distribution activity in the local marketplaces and that activity of training people, that activity of building the business. We can't be separated from that. We have to, as you said, as a family, we have to act as one out there and figure out a way to make sure that continues. I feel that spirit in this company. I'm just not as close to it yet as I want to be, and that means I'm going to jump on a plane and get out there and spend some time. You betcha.
Yeah, I mean, we're here locally. We can take into people's home-based offices if you'd like. You can see how people do local meetings and things, or whatever you'd like to do. We're here to help you.
Well, I saw the St. Bonaventure meeting a couple of weeks ago. That was John Tartle's meeting.
That was a big one,
John's going to be in my office on Friday, and we're going to spend some time together and go through all the marketing plan and the products and the selling. And I've been through some of it.